What's good, fam? Welcome to the Simply Talking podcast, where we keep it real and raw with your host, Simply Talking and Miss Confident, bringing that fire energy and those undeniable vibes. Today, we're diving deep into the world of social media, relationships, and dating, giving you perspectives straight from Black men and women who are living this every single day. You know how it goes? There's so much to unpack, and we're not shying away from any topic. From the latest TikTok trends to the complexities of modern love, we're bringing it to you live and direct. Get ready for some real talk, juicy interviews, and moments that'll have you nodding along and thinking, that's so true. We'll be sharing stories that resonate, the challenges we face, and the wisdom we've gained along the way. So whether you're chilling at home, commuting to work, or vibing out with your friends, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride with us. Let's get this conversation started, because here at Simply Talking, your voice matters just as much as ours.
What's up, guys? It's Benny. If you are not a serial killer who buries your victims in your backyard, you really won't care if the authorities show up with a warrant and say, we want to start digging around back there. It's probably an inconvenience, but you'll be like, okay, go ahead. You're gonna waste your time. There's nothing in my backyard. Maybe a dog bone. But if you are a serial killer that does bury people in your backyard, you'll begin to sweat. You'll begin to maybe say, don't do that. You'll call your lawyer. You'll say, you're not allowed to dig in my backyard. Don't you dare. Don't look. You have something to hide. You're going to act suspiciously. And this is what happens when there are tragedies where people die. Those who are responsible act suspiciously. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm about to show you is footage obtained by CNN. You can see the watermark right there saying obtained by CNN. Clear as day footage of the actual Black Hawk helicopter, even looks like a helicopter, right? We'd like to get clearer footage of it. But nonetheless, this is as good as we got so far. Slamming into the side of the American Airlines plane. And I'm going to show you what looks like a cover.
The American Airlines plane can be seen flying towards the airport before the two collide, causing a mid-air explosion and fall into the river. In a second video, you can see the Army helicopter and American Airlines plane travel toward each other. After the collision and subsequent explosion, the airliner can be seen spinning into the water, and the Black Hawk is also seen falling into the water.
This is the clearest footage that we have to this day. I really want the footage from inside of the airplane. The Black Hawk helicopter is actually what you really want, because it's the Black Hawk helicopter that was flying wildly off course, according to the black box inside of the American Airlines commercial flight. Of course, 67 people lost their lives. That black box is going to detail how. That black box says that the helicopter was flying twice as high as it's legally allowed to, and was approximately 1 mile off course. And that Black Hawk helicopter was warned multiple times not to hit the plane, to go around the plane, get the hell out of there. What are you doing there? And you can see, obviously, according to this footage, there's no evasive maneuvers. Notice the tail. Play this again. Notice the tail. The tail doesn't go up or down. The helicopter literally flies directly into the plane. The purpose of a Black Hawk helicopter is to be able to stop literally on a dime, to go up and down very quickly, to dodge RPGs in the service of keeping their crew alive. This is a very, very quickly adaptable and maneuverable vehicle. So why didn't it maneuver? Why didn't it move at all? You can see here in this video that the commercial airline was shining bright like a star in the sky. Look at that. Would you be able to see that? Yes, you can, even on these low-quality cameras. Up until that footage was released, this was all we really had from the crash. Now, this footage is damning in its own way, because what you can see is the helicopter and the plane flying at each other for over a minute. You can see the plane, you can see the helicopter, and it's just a slow-motion train wreck, as they say. But you really can't see much else, and we really didn't have any other crisp and clear footage of the actual crash itself. This is footage that's taken from the top of the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. that's 2 miles away from the actual crash. I'm getting to the cover up here in just a moment, but what you'll be able to see here is the actual impact. You can still see the blast, but you can't actually see who's at fault, what the aircraft are actually doing, if there's any maneuverability. And ladies and gentlemen, all you see really is a massive fireball that is perceptible even from this far away, right here. Okay. Here's where things start getting strange. So you'd think that the authorities would want all available resources and the public to see everything that's happening in this crash so that we can determine who's at fault and why. But instead, there are arrests being made from the people who leaked this footage. I'm very upset at this because I'm very glad we have this footage. We've played the footage many, many times on the show. And I'm glad that CNN published this. This is the point. This is actual good journalism. The more information, the better. Being able to see the helicopter not waver at all, not move at all, and slam right into the side of the aircraft tells us a lot about what was going on inside of the helicopter. Yet, there are workers at the Metropolitan Washington Airport that have been arrested for leaking this video. Isn't that interesting? They could leak literally everything about Donald Trump. They could leak the contents of Donald Trump's sock drawers, and you'll get nothing but applauded. But you leak the footage where 67 parents, children, moms, dads, Olympians, Chinese nationals, Russian nationals perish on this doomed flight from Wichita, and oh boy, quick, arrest them. I hate this. 2 employees for Metropolitan Washington Airport Authority have been arrested over a leak of American Airlines passenger jet colliding with an Army helicopter. The plane carrying 60 passengers and 4 crew members was approaching Reagan National Airport when it was hit by a Black Hawk Army helicopter conducting a training flight. Footage of the extraordinary incident quickly went viral, sparking frenzied conspiracy theories online. And that video was leaked to CNN by 2 members of the staff at the airport, authorities now say, according to ABC. The duo have been charged with computer trespass for allegedly making the unauthorized copies of the airport authority records. Mohammed Mengay of Rockville, Maryland, he was booked into Arlington County Adult Detention Center, later released. 45-year-old Jonathan Savoy of Upper Marlboro, Maryland, was arrested at the same incident, and he was released upon summons of a magistrate. Washington, D.C.'s airspace is notoriously congested, and there have been mounting fears that a tragedy was on the horizon. Here are some of the individuals who were working at the airport that leaked this footage. They were clearly trying to maybe make a buck. I'm sure CNN paid for it. Common practice in media to pay for exclusive content. These 2 individuals are doing the public a service. Maybe that's not what their intention was. Maybe they just wanted to make a quick buck. But why didn't Reagan National Airport release this footage? Hold on. So these 2 individuals had to behave criminally, and they did behave criminally, right? It's like a strange gray line where you should have as much information. The public deserves to see as much of this crash as possible. Why don't we have the helicopter recordings? Why can't we hear what's happening inside of the Army helicopter? Why don't we have the recordings from the military base, Fort Belvoir, that was operating this Army helicopter? Why haven't more people from our United States military come out and spoken about this? This seems to be a massive cover-up. The helicopter is clearly at fault. I have had dozens of pilots, Black Hawk and commercial airline alike, call me and say, according to all available recordings, this Black Hawk helicopter was at fault, flying not where it was supposed to be, not responsive. Something went wrong. It went horribly dark and wrong inside of that cockpit. We must know how and why. But they're not being transparent about this. They're being withholding. In fact, they're charging people. They're only charging these 2 people. You can leak on Trump. Whole thing makes me sick. So many leaks on President Trump. So many leaks on President Trump that led to impeachments of Donald Trump. Illegal leaks on Donald Trump. How many have there been? Tens of thousands? No one's charged, ever, for any of it. But then you release footage that the public deserves to see because we all fly and we all fund the infrastructure of this country to keep us safe. And we're all required to know, like to have a functional economy in a functional country, we must know that we're safe when we're flying. And they charge them? I mean, honestly, I got to tell you, if there's ever a time for them to waive this and say these two individuals were acting in the public interest, it's this. Because the more information, the better. This is what causes suspicion. This is why I use the metaphor about the serial killer. Because actually, I mean, this was a mass murder. This is what happened here. Somebody was at fault. There's no such thing as a zero fault accident in the insurance world. Someone is at fault. If everybody was following the rules, then this wouldn't happen. There have been 150 million commercial airline flights between this incident and the last deadly commercial airline incident. 150 million. The problem is not, ladies and gentlemen, with our rules. The rules being followed lead to millions of safe landings. Hundreds of millions of safe landings. Something broke down here, and we deserve to know what it was. So I got to tell you, this whole story makes me very upset. The fact that they withheld the name of the third pilot, Rebecca Lobach. The fact that she worked inside of the Biden administration don't make no sense to me. The fact that she doesn't have any social media, but she was clearly a progressive activist. I'm not saying that disqualifies her. I'm not saying that's why the helicopter crashed. I don't know. It does raise a lot of questions as to why you would be doing training flights in the most dangerous airspace in the entire country. I think that is reckless and stupid. Why not do your training? Rebecca Lobach has a right, and I'm thankful that she serves her country, okay? Good for you. I am. Wouldn't it have been better if she was an inexperienced pilot with 500 training hours, which is low? Especially be flying over that airspace? Wouldn't it have been better to have her train over northern Alabama? Or the Panhandle in Florida? Or the Gulf of America? Or the Sierra Nevada desert? Where there's going to be far less frictions on her training? She was doing a continuity of government training. Do you know what that is? These are the flights that take VIPs from inside of the administration, the Senate, the White House, the CIA, that take them and evacuate them to different locations all around the country. These are big time flights. This is very important work. I mean, wouldn't you assume that you would want to have the most qualified individuals and the most not people who were part-time pilots? Yeah, she just worked at the White. This is a matter of fact. She worked at the White House with Joe Biden. She worked on a social media team. This wasn't the full-time gig. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And you can see it in the responses to this, the immediate responses from the DOD and from Trump, is DEI in the military, incompetence, unqualified people, and a total ban on helicopters inside of the corridor around Washington, D.C. A ban completely. Well, if that doesn't show you what's going on, President Trump's post on Truth Social does. President Trump on Truth Social, in the immediate aftermath of this, said the helicopter was flying where it was not allowed to be flying. Not really hard, is it, to figure out who's at fault? This is what Trump said. So here's what I'm trying to say here, man. I'm trying to say that the more information, the better. I'm not encouraging illegal leaking, okay? I get very, angry when people are made into heroes for doing this against Trump. I'm not advocating for that. But I am advocating for, why wouldn't the airport release? The way this should have happened is Reagan National Airport, if they have all this footage of this, and there's 1 million cameras that clearly captured this, and there's also cameras inside of the Black Hawk helicopter. Where is that footage? Why don't we have it? Why can't you give that to the public? Why wouldn't you give us as much evidence as possible that you are deeply serious about ensuring that this never happens again? And that means probably some tough pills to swallow about everything from DEI in the military to failures inside of the control tower, which was understaffed according to available reports. All of it, ladies and gentlemen, all of it is going to require us to take a good hard look in the mirror. And you can only do that if you have all of the available evidence. You're going to come to the right conclusion with all of the available evidence. Without that, it's going to keep happening. Okay? And that's all we care about here, ladies and gentlemen. Finding the people responsible, finding the problem, the people and the problems responsible, because they're probably systemic, and ending that now. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe for safe airlines, pilots, and military in this country. See ya.
Listen up, fam. That's a wrap on another episode, and we hope you caught the vibes just like we did. This is your boy Simply Talking alongside Miss Confidence signing off. Just a reminder that every conversation we have is important and every perspective holds weight. We're here to keep this dialogue flowing, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and drop us a comment. Let us know what's on your mind, your experiences, and what you want to hear next. We're building a community where we can learn from each other, share some laughs, and tackle those tough topics that often get pushed aside. So keep it locked in for more real talk, engaging interviews, and reactions that keep you coming back for more. Until next time, remember to stay confident, stay connected, and always keep it 100. We appreciate you rolling with us, and we can't wait to bring you more content that resonates with you. Peace out, and catch you in the next episode.